Hey, so I had this dream and I wanted to share it with you because the more I share things that are good, the better I feel about things. So hopefully it's good. But anyways, so I was like reading this book last night and I shared on Facebook that I was reading this book. It's called The Message. It's so good. And in the book, he talks about, how he had passed on, but came back, right? Like he was in a coma, and how his mission here was not fulfilled. And he came back, but he got to have all these experiences. And basically, like the people who had passed on were talking about how they were able to take care of and watch over their families, and that there were people in our families who chose to go on and to die to take care of us. And so I went to bed really like peaceful. And then I had this dream last night that I was at Natalie and Andy's house, but it was like far, far removed. It was like not in the same area. It was like nobody was around, right? And it had caught fire, and it had basically started fire and burned to the ground. And I remember us like running up to the hill, and I was asking Natalie, "Oh my gosh, who did this?" Right? Like, who started the fire? And it was like, she was like, "It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who started the fire or that the fire even happened." And she was just so calm and not attached to it. But also it was like this feeling of joy of having that house and the experiences that were in there. So when I woke up this morning, I wrote the dream down, and then I wrote down I asked Heavenly Father, what does this mean? And so the meaning of it was that house represents Mayzie and her body. And it represents her experience here on the earth was grand. Like it was a mansion, right? Like it wasn't like this little shack. It was this huge mansion. And all the joy and all the memories and experiences and everything that was in there was so beautiful. And the first question was, about blame, and to let that go, because it doesn't matter how it happened or why it happened. What matters is that the experiences do not change, even though the house burned to the ground. Quite literally, it was that feeling of like, I've always been worried about like, oh, was I okay that I cremated her? But it was like that burning, it doesn't change who she is and what she stood for and what she like helped us to experience. Like in this life, all this joy and love and happiness, like that doesn't go away just because her house, her physical temple isn't here anymore in the same form, So it's just such this beautiful, powerful dream. And I was so grateful because like I just needed to hear and see again that whenever I look at her picture, I don't have to remember the sadness and the loss and the pain, right? Like it's the feeling of just look how much joy I got to have with that house, with that beautiful soul that I had. I was privileged to experience her, and not many people did. I mean, actually, not true. Lots of people did experience her, but probably, not to the same degree that I did. So that's the same thing, right? Like not many people, nobody experienced her to the degree I did. I experienced having her, holding her, nursing her. Nobody else got that. And on the opposite spectrum, like that's the privilege of losing her or the experience of losing her was equally in that emotion, right? Like the feeling of it was that intense. So, anywho, I just wanted to share that, and I'm doing better today with that. I'm going to go on a hike today, and I got to get ready for that. I haven't even gotten ready. Okay, anyway, my cheeks are so rosy. I've been drinking my Creo brew, and look, it always gets me like flushed. I look like I'm blushing. Anyways, see you.